Today I'm doing the intro to my bilge pump install. You will see where manual bilge pump, where I have the new manual whale pump assembly, and then I actually replaced all the hose and pulled it out and realized at the bottom there was no type of strainer or anything. It was just the hose going into the bilge. So I thought, well, I should get one of the strainers like I'm going to attach on, and it's going to be this, just a simple one. The hose does come down the bilge and will literally, it sort of lays there like that unless it was pointed straight down. So I'm thinking just a round piece of 1.5 inch hose stuck in the water probably isn't going to be effective if something clogs it or if it gets a little bit dislodged, whereas this, even though I won't be mounting it to anything, will still be enough at the part of the bilge, and I can see it from in here, from in the cockpit or in the cabin, if I just have to take off the lower step, and then I can also see it in case I ever really need this little baby. And my bilge pump, I started that part of it because my bilge pump, I don't have an automatic one that attaches to power the battery. Only because I'm at the boat every day, live very close to it now, and or would be on it. However, I always think if it starts going off for even an error reason, then you've got suddenly a dead batteries and it's still sinking if you're not there. So anyways, I'm just going to wait on that. I do have room because I can see the bilge pump because the hose comes right down, so I'm figuring this will be good for now. But anyways, that's my description for today. And I will tell you, this is my project for today as well as installing the head, but that will be a different video. Yes, I like to multitask. These outlets, because I'm using a large hose, have a small piece to them, which is right here, and it's on this side and this side in case you want to use a smaller hose. So I thought, oh, I better cut it off. It tells you to cut it off. Prior to that though, you want to make sure that when you mount this, the sucking out of the water goes in the one part it should, and the gushing out of the water to the through hull in your boat is the other side. So I had this all nicely mounted and realized I just thought I'd check to see, and sure enough it was sucking water from the stern area and would have been putting it right back in the boat. That would have been real nice. And lucky I was actually just putting it on to make sure it was all going on properly because I hadn't cut these off. So I cut these off and you can actually see the little inlet. This is the outlet. Oops, there's the other part. And it goes on this way. And it will suck out water out there with the little, I think you can see the little flat, there you go. You can see the little, oops, I can't even point while I'm holding a camera. The little things there, and the other side doesn't have anything. So, something to check when you're installing it. Thank you very much. I did read the instructions though, and I knew something I hadn't done yet, which was that. And you can rotate it actually while it's attached. You can just undo these screws here, and then this whole bottom part rotates, so that's kind of handy. So, anyways, it's going in the lovely, wasn't planning to be messy cockpit. And it's going right here where this ugly one is, and you can see there's rust and green stuff and everything else on this one. So also though, the problem is I've got some frozen through hull hose clamp screws, so I've been spraying a few things on it. And I want to check all that anyways, so this part of the hose is also where the numero uno grosso, actually number 2, went out when there was the Y valve on here before. So this poor little thing has definitely done its duty. So that's coming out, and it has a nice hole here in the cockpit that I've cleaned and will make sure is sealed as well. There's no real core there. It's just a sheet of fiberglass. Is there a core on these? Oh yeah, there probably is. Not a core, but it's like a laminate plywood fiberglass. And that's what I'm doing right now. But I can't get this off yet. So I'm actually leaving a hand bilge pump in the cockpit. And I do check on my boat every day. So, because this here is also the other part that I'm pulling out, but it's got we'll have the strainer on the bottom, and then that's the hole I'm sealing down there, where there was a waste hose coming out, and then that whole waste hose area, this is where it is for the fan for the head, but that is going to be, oops, I don't think I'm focusing correctly here. Oh yeah, there we go. And that is going to be, I've got something to show you for on there, but I'll do that later. Okay, I'm happy to report that I installed the manual bilge pump, and I'm very happy with it because I checked it, and this part sucks in water that way and it pushes it out that way, which is the plan. Then I'll get a little bit closer. It's very sunny out, so you can see a little bit of sun. It's actually 34 degrees. Again, as I mentioned in another video, it's awesome. I love the heat. That's why I know I'm supposed to be in the South Pacific, or at least Mexico, where my sister has a house, and it's got an awesome marina down there, San Carlos Marina. One of the others, Flicka owners, went down there with his boat. And I have a bit of wires to tidy up, and one is for the high bilge water alarm, which I'm just going to leave here for now, oops, because I don't have one, an automatic one at the moment. But anyways, as I'd noted before, I cut this off down here and cut the other one off, filed it, and ready to put on the new hose, which is right here. And I got it at a hose place that specializes in all marine hoses. And yeah, I just thought I'd show you that it's nicely in with all the rubber the right way it should be. Putting on the little rubber dam onto the part, and then when you look at it, part of it, and I'll just get my shadow of my camera, part of this dam comes around here from the this side, or from the other side. So yeah, there's a lot of dexterity involved, more so actually doing stuff on your boat. Once you're sailing, you get to actually just sit 98% of the time, and the other 2% is sheer terror, as we always say. Okay, here's the final of the bilge pump. Nice new hose clamps, new handle, all lanyarded on. I keep it in here when the boat's closed up. And then new hose goes down, and then I'm going to fill that other hole down there, which is from the old head pump out, which actually used to go through this poor little bilge pump. So now I've got this nice super clean bilge pump. I'm really happy. And no smelly hose, because all the wastewater, black water, would come through a Y valve into here and out there, so that's pretty gross. So I did pump fresh water through here just to, you know, get out that last little tiny bit that might be way over in the exhaust exit there, but otherwise it should be all nice and fresh.